12. War Day 1. Burning Horror. A.N. Credit to this poem goes to https://allpoetry.com. Poems. About. Panic. Deep slumber. I thought it went well with the story. You know those moments in time when your anxiety is so high, your mind racing by, with things that blow your mind, wicked dreams and nightmares gone by, of a time long ago, with a wicked ebb and a devilish flow, of the things you just shouldn't know, like a nightmare in the middle of a daydream, with only the silence of a deafening scream. And you come to realize, you couldn't save them. It was just a moment of silence before chaos took place. They were all focused on me. The villain they need to capture is right in front of them. I can't blame them. I am so close but at the same time so far to reach. Me. What are you standing there? Go help the other citizens. You are heroes after all. Can't believe I need to say this to them in order for them to get moving. Tsunotori. He's right, we need to go. And 1 point goes to Class 1B. Me. Then why are you all still standing there? Get moving. This city needs their heroes right now. Kachan. This is an over-shitty deku. With this, everyone was running out of the building. There were 8 locations that the heroes need to go. I placed bombs in a 3-5-story office buildings for distraction. Each bomb had a timer which would go off after Usagi was finished with his speech, giving me the advantage to see where each group of heroes were heading. Nezu was also informed before I got the heroes' headquarters. I can't believe they are so stupid. All I had to do is pressure them after the explosions and they would all leave in an instant and let me be by myself? What kind of heroes are they? They could have locked me up in a room or some kind of shit to prevent me to go out for 4 hours. I need to start going as well. Now that I know where my targets are going, it is time for Usagi to show himself. As I walked out of the building I saw the heroes groups and in which direction they were heading. Groups. Class 1A. 1. Ashido, Kaminari, Asui, Kota, Kirishima. 2. Ojiro, Shoji, Sato, Shiro, Aoyama. 3. Ida, Uraraka, Hagakure, Yaoyorozu, Mineta. 4. Shinso, Jiro, Tokiyami, Todoroki, Bakugo. Class 1B. 1. Awase, Kaibara, Tetsu, Honanuki, Fukidzai. 2. Kamakiri, Komori, Monoma, Rin, Tokage. 3. Kuroiro, Shiozaki, Shishida, Yanagi, Tsunotori. 4. Kendo, Kodai, Subaraba, Bondo, Shoda. All I had to do now is run to the nearby underground tunnel entrance, head to my main villain lair, get my stuff and my villain costume. I have Shinsosu's capture weapon on me all the time. It is comfortable to wear, plus I can't risk anyone to see it yet. Another reason I am wearing it non-stop is that it does give me a little bit of a protection. I knew I had around 10 minutes until the second wave of explosions on the 2 or 3 floor will go off. 5 minutes to get my stuff and 5 minutes to get to my destination. The underground tunnels are a big help. They are like shortcut around the city once you know where to go, that is. I decided to go after Class 1B Group 1. I was running though the tunnels as the second wave went off. I was close and I could feel the ground shaking a little bit. Now all I had to do exit the tunnels and position myself. I didn't intend to use any grenades or guns yet, all I need are my blood knives. I was outside and watching how the 5 heroes were cooperating to get the people out of the now burning building. Thanks to May, my villain costume was fireproof. What I am going to do next is probably one of the stupidest thing I ever done. Here goes nothing. In a moment where nobody was watching the entrance of the building and all the heroes were outside, I quickly dashed into the burning building and went to the second floor. Thank God I insisted on a gas mask and visor. All I had to do now is hide in the building and call for help. As I walked through the second floor, I found some civilian robots. One of them was in a bad condition. Luckily for me, the robot's motherboard and speaker were still intact and the protective metal was already open, showing me the motherboard. Perfect. I manipulated the wires of the robot until the speaker went off. Screaming could be heard, indicating there were still innocent citizens alive in the building. This building was stable enough to not collapse when all the explosives went off. Which means that the heroes need to go in and save this person. I also may or may not have planted 3 C4 time bombs in each building. Okay, I did plant 3. Why shouldn't I? Heroes could be hurt in the process. That's only if they were not careful. I went to a nearby window and watched the heroes decide which one should go in to save the civilian. They decided for Yosetsu Awase. No surprise here, his personality nearly screams selfless in any dangerous situations. I watched him enter the building and quickly positioned myself behind a wall. I could still see the robot and anyone who enters the room. I need to do this quick, it's getting way too hot for my comfort. He entered the room and went straight to the civilian robot. I used that as an advantage and pulled my knife around his neck. With a smooth motion across his neck and a deep read mark replacing where my knife touched his skin, he dropped down unable to move. Awase was now officially dead. As a dead person, he was not allowed to say anything or move. For this purpose, each heroes had a bracelet, which would immobilize them on Nezu's or any teacher's signal. I watched his body go limp and took him to the roof. Vlad King. Welder is out. That was the confirmation that he is no longer there. He was dead, but his companions didn't know that. Let's play a quick game of hide and seek. Taking the unconscious hero to the roof. I was now standing on the edge with him kneeling beside me, one arm supporting him and the second with a knife around his throat. Me. Oh heroes tilde. Oh look at them, they look like lost puppies. It was fun watching them search for where my voice came from, until one of them pointed at me. Me. If you don't want him doing a swan dive, I suggest for you not to move. I have a proposal for you. If you want him back, that is. I couldn't hear what they were discussing, I was too far up, plus there was another bomb hidden in this building. The time is ticking and I need to move fast or else the last one will go off with me standing on the freaking building's roof. Me. I will be waiting for one of you on the 4th floor. I suggest Real Steel, Tetsu, to come alone and get your dear friend out. That is if he can find me first. I guarantee I won't be leaving the 4th floor, and if I see that he isn't alone I will not spare any survivor. Not that I had planned in the first place. After I said that, I pulled Awase by his hero costume off the edge and placed him over my shoulder. There was a backside to the building. I made sure that no one could see me jumping from one roof to the other, laying the unconscious body down, and went back to the 4th floor. As I made my way to the window, I quickly checked the time on the C4 bomb as it had a timer on it. 5 minutes. That's all the time I need. The next building was really close, only 1.5 meters apart, and there were 2 windows facing each other. As I watched outside the window facing the heroes, I noticed that Real Steel wasn't there, which means he was on his way to me. I went to the room's center, which faced the other building's window, and waited for him to find me. The timing for the stunt I was going to do needed to be perfect. 1 second and it could kill us both in an instant. Therefore I started counting in my head. 4 minutes. He still hasn't found me. I thought he was quick on his feet. 3 minutes. Still no sign of him. I really thought he would be quicker, as the life of one of his classmates is in danger. 2 minutes. He finally arrived. Took you long enough. He entered the room cautiously. I could see that he was scanning me and my surroundings, searching for his friend. Me. If you are searching for your little precious friend, then you should give up. Real Steel. Where is he? Me. He might be in this building burning to his death, or maybe not. I can't remember where I put him. I guess he is a lost soul by now anyway. Real Steel. What have you done with him? Me. Oh hero tilde, didn't I already told you nobody is safe from me? 1 minute left. Me. Oh my look at the time. I am a busy person and here I am wasting my precious time with you. I have other planes. So see you. With that I turned around and ran straight to the window. Without a second doubt, I jumped, though shattering both windows. The mask and my costume is saving me from getting cut by the shards as I landed in the room next to the burning building, rolling and quickly getting on my feet. 30 seconds. The hero went to the now broken window and looked straight at me. Me. Tick-tock, the time is nearly up. If you want your friend, why don't you come and get me? He is still in my hands, safe from the flames. 20 seconds. I watched him carefully as he went to the back of the room. He was using his quirk the whole time. His quirk steel has grown him the power to turn his body into steel. His steel body has a resistance to heat. In this burning building, he needed to use it all the time in order to protect himself and be a good hero. Here is the catch with that: if he uses his quirk for too long, he will suffer from iron fatigue, resulting in his metal form losing its durability. He will also melt if the temperatures are high enough, which a C4 explosion behind him will surely accomplish. I assumed since he can turn his body to steel that he will be heavier and thus needed more momentum for such a jump. Too bad he won't have the time for it. 10 seconds. He was now starting to run straight at me full speed. 5. I now went to the back corner of the room. Leaning against the wall, I waited for the determination. 3, 2, 1. I couldn't see him directly anymore. Boom. As the bomb went off, he was sent flying through the window and hitting the opposite wall. The heat of the explosion was too strong for him, resulting in his back melting. The impact with the wall did also its damage. He was now laying on the ground unconscious and bleeding. I went to his body and killed him with a stab wound straight to his back. I made sure that the wound I gave him was fatal and went outside the building. Of course he wasn't literally dead, just hurt. Vlad King. Real steel is out. Nobody was watching the side building as the main attention was the inferno in front of them letting me do my job. Comicman, Fukidashi Manga, was trying to put the flames out by shouting wind noises. Mudman, Honanuki Juzo, tried to calm the civilians down and get the injured to a medic robot. Spiral, Kaibara Sen, was now trying to get into the burning building searching for his comrades. By now, every bomb I placed for this event went off and every hero had his or her hand full. Civilians were burned and needed help. The flames were still there. Panic was everywhere. I needed to kill them and fast. First of Comicman. Manga's quirk allows him to materialize words in mid-air by speaking them. These words are onomatopoeia, words that describe sounds, which can manifest the effects of the phenomenon that the sound suggests. I took one of my knives and threw it, aiming at the back of his head. My aim is terrifying. Never did I miss my target, and this case is not any different. At the impact of the knife, his whole body went limp and falling to the ground. Vlad King. Comicman is out. This is all it took for the people to now run and shout in panic. I watched how Mudman was trying to figure out where the knife was coming from but couldn't because of all the people. Juzo's quirk allows him to soften any non-living thing he touches. He needed to calm the survivor down. However, before he could do so, I quickly grabbed one of the child robots and made the situation worse. Me. Oh hero tilde. Are you looking for me? In an instant, everyone went silent. The people which were around me were now running away. Mudman couldn't risk attacking me as I had a hostage in my hands. Mudman. Let her go. Me. And why should I do that? Mudman. She is innocent and too young to die. Me. That's exactly why I am holding her hostage, but be my guest to trade her place. He was now in a situation where he couldn't afford to do anything besides listen to my words. Mudman. Listen, Mid Usagi, I am willing to trade her place. I will come to you. Juzo then began to walk to me. I waited until he was close enough and killed the robot in front of his eyes. Before he could even react, I was now standing in front of him with the knife placed in his heart, or at least it would be if it were a real knife. Vlad King. Mudman is out. 4 down, 1 to go. As the last one was still inside the building, I quickly began slaughtering each and every one of the survivors, even the medics. I took both dead bodies of the heroes and placed them in the same building as the others were. Before I did this, I collected my knife from the ground, as I will need the fake blood. My last target is Spiral. Sen's quirk allows him to make any part of his body rotate like a drill. There is no chance in me going against him in any style of hand-to-hand combat, since I do not intend to use one for all. This would be suicide. What I plan to do next is something different. I collected all the dead heroes, from the roof and one in a room on the 4th floor, and placed them in the windows of the shop. Now all I had to do is a little art project. I put Mudman on the floor. He was facing the window and I wrote fake on his forehead with the blood that was stored in one knife. Next, I splattered some blood on his neck in the ground. For that, all I needed to do is press the knife's handle and I could access the blood easily. Now it looked like he was bleeding out. I grabbed real steel, placing his back against the window for everyone to see the burn marks. Writing fake on the window mirrored with his own blood. Next I had Comicman with welder, Awase Yosetsu, sharing the other shop window. Comicman had now blood in his face and was sitting on a chair, where once a mannequin was sitting. His feet were resting on welder. His whole back was covered in fake blood. I now used up all the blood my 2 knives had stored. Not satisfied with the result, I placed both my hands on his back and made some bloody fingerprints on the window. From the corner of my eye, I could see Spiral outside of the burning building watching the sight of all the dead body in front of him. All I had to do is go outside the shop like a normal person. Which is exactly what I did. I didn't care if he could see my face, since he will not live long enough to tell the others. None of the heroes could contact each other. That's what I made sure before I started to kill them one by one. I had a signal jammer by my side. It allowed me to jam any signal in a radius of 20 meters from me. If he was hoping for backup to arrive, then he was certainly a fool. Me. Oh hero tilde. Are you looking for me? Standing in front of the shop door, I decided to taunt him a little more so that he would come at me to see my beautiful art show. Me. Do you want to know where your dear friends are? Spiral wasn't responding to me. No, he was trying to get back up, but no one would answer him. Me. They can't hear you tilde. Me. Besides, I have a gift for you, come and see for yourself. I know I had the fake blood still on my knife in my hands. I was a bloody mess to say at least. All he needed to do for him to see me was to step out and walk on to the middle of the road. Fear now creeping on his face. He was watching me frozen, that I could tell. Me. Look right there are your friends. Pointing at the shop window for him to see. That must have snapped him out of his trance. He started to come near me. As the shop came into his vision field, his eyes widened in shock. Me. Don't worry. They are fine. They are just sleeping peacefully for eternity. I didn't give him a chance to react as I ran straight at him, knocking him unconscious but not killing him. The now unconscious hero had no way of resisting. Wanting to get even more attention, I began dragging him by his hero costume into the shop. There was another chair, which I placed in the middle of the room. Nearly every shop had some pencils, paper, duct tape and a pair of scissors. My promise to Nezu prohibits me to kill or lethally hurt any of them for a more dramatic appearance. That's why I had my fake blood. However, I just end up using all the fake blood I had on me. Quickly roaming around the shop, I could find all the stuff that I needed. I took the duct tape and tapped the hero on the chair. Then I grabbed the scissors and cut my wrist. It is not the first time I cut myself, and it certainly won't be the last time. It gives me some kind of pleasure watching my blood dripping down my wrist. It is a beautiful sight. The color is so pretty. I then wrote fake on his forehead too and gave him a bloody smile. All I had to do now is turn of the signal jammer and take his earpiece. Me. Oh heroes tilde. I left a present for you on the 8th site, I hope you like it. Was all I said to the heroes, though the earpiece. I didn't intend to let anyone alive, but I wanted one of the heroes to be responsible for Spiral's death. In order to do that I cut his neck with the knife, marking the wound, but I didn't apply enough pressure to kill him instantly. Killing him would be too easy and no fun at all. Spiral was now bleeding out as I made my way back to my villain base to prepare for the next victim. It was currently 3 p.m., and I was not done for today. I need to get back to the 8th side with a rifle to welcome the other heroes properly.